Due to strong language, viewer discretion is advised. Today on Dr. Phil, Mom's gone mad.
You lost everything waiting for some guy to come back in your life?
Yes.
You have children. What are you thinking?
From 9-year affairs.
This married man has kept you a secret.
He's my best friend.
He's not your best friend. He is playing you like a sucker.
To parenting nightmares.
You cuss like a truck driver and you learn to be angry, fight, steal.
I didn't learn any of that until I came back here.
I know what I need.
Maybe a mom isn't so crazy.
You say, she's outrageous. She's outrageous because you are outrageous.
Let's do it. Why don't we stop all the drama, stop all the fighting, and let's go get you better.
Here we go. Have a good show, everybody.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, green. Take.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. From a two-time pregnant mistress to a mother who insists her 15-year-old daughter is destined for a lifetime spent in jail. Today's guest wrote to me desperate for help because their own behavior or that of someone they care about has become reckless and out of control. A few months ago, I spoke with Rachel, who admitted that her parenting style of spoiling her daughter, Isabella, rotten and allowing her to make her own choices had backfired badly.
I'm a free-range mom. I gave my daughter a lot of freedom, and I spoiled her to the core. And now I've lost total control.
When I'm getting sick and tired of being spoken to like that.
Dude, you're rude.
She calls me a stupid tweaker bitch, stupid-ass bitch. You're a piece of Just any derogatory name you can say to your mother, it'll come out of her mouth.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you heard me.
My child is just hideous. Isabella's been hospitalized 3 times for overdosing. And it wasn't just one drug. It was a menagerie of drugs. Ecstasy, marijuana, alcohol, Klonopin, methamphetamine. She's run away at least 12 times. She's been arrested 4 or 5 times. Physical violence to fighting and petty theft. That's where most of my money goes, is paying restitution to the people she steals from. She hangs out with runaways. She told me she was going out to her dad's, but instead she got out of here with my bank card and a $650 child support check and housed these boys for a few days, fed them, bought them clothes. People are scared of Isabella, including me. She's brutal. Isabella gave my sister a black eye. She's always carried a knife, and she's always talking about sticking bitches. She's always talking about, I'm gonna beat that bitch's ass. I'm gonna smash her. I need a serious intervention with my daughter. She either needs to be scared straight, or something really major needs to slap her in the face and wake her up, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna lose her.
So wrapped up in your own little world.
Okay, how did it get in this condition? Why do you need someone else to come in and fix your daughter?
Because obviously I didn't do anything right. I mean, I thought by giving her, when she was doing the right thing, giving her the freedom to make her choices, and when she was making good choices, I didn't have to discipline her. And then, you know, a few things happened in my life, and I got kind of squirrely. Well, I didn't live in the same home with her. I was chasing drugs, and I was chasing to numb the feelings and the pain I had about things that have happened in my life that I never dealt with. I was busy trying to cover them up and forget about them, and in the process, I forgot about my daughter.
So you were doing drugs?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I was doing methamphetamines.
How long?
About 3 years.
3 years. Who was raising your daughter in this time period?
Well, I mean, she was with me, she was with my parents, she was with her father, and she was on a horse ranch.
But you get that you made a choice, and your daughter came in last.
Yeah, I get that.
Are you clean and sober today?
Today, yes.
Well, by today, I mean in this current time frame, not this morning.
Well, in the last 24 hours, I haven't done any drugs.
Yeah. How about the last 48 hours?
48 hours, no.
Okay, do you really want to spend your time playing cat and mouse with me?
No, I don't.
Well, then answer my question.
I did. In the last 48 hours,
No, come on. Answer my
48
question
hours?
or we're done here.
Okay, I smoked marijuana in the last 48
Okay,
hours.
don't me,
I'm not
lady, or we're
thinking
out of
about
here.
that.
Listen, don't play games with me or we're out of here. I'm not going to mess around with you. You know what I'm asking
48
you.
hours since like.
Are you that concrete? Do you really think that I mean that I'm talking about 48 hours? I ask you, are you currently at this point in your life free of drugs and alcohol?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then answer that. You know
pain.
what I'm asking you.
I know, but I'm not free of pain. How can I?
Okay, I didn't ask you if you were free of pain. I asked you if you were free of drugs.
Well, no, because I use them
Okay, then
to
don't
numb
say
it.
yes. Why are you telling me yes when the answer is no?
Because it's embarrassing to admit that I'm a failure. That's what it is.
Well, then be embarrassed. If you want to talk to me, you need to tell me the truth. Don't waste my time.
I'm not trying to waste your time.
I got 10,000 letters stacked up on a desk over there that people want to get real with me. You come in here, and okay, then talk to me straight. So are we here to figure out why she's the way she is or just what to do about it?
What to do about it, and I don't understand. I mean, I thought that even though she wasn't with me and I was providing a safe and concrete and loving home and a productive
You weren't providing squats. You were out doing drugs.
I was paying for it. So I thought I was providing it. I had her in a ranch doing what she loved, and I thought it was good, you know, and I was trying to get myself right.
You cannot abdicate your role as a mother. Your role to guide her and nurture her and listen to her and be bonded with her and take care of that. So I'm trying to let's get our values straight here, because if that's what you think, then I need to adjust that thinking, because that's wrong thinking.
Well, rich people send their kids to boarding school all the time. And so in my mind, I thought, well, you know, it's no different than that.
In your meth-infected mind.
Yeah. I mean, now I see the error of my ways, but at the time, I thought I was doing the right thing.
But now what do you think?
Now I think that I really, those 3 years, I did more damage than I did good to anything in my life.
Yeah. I mean, we just have to be honest. We got to call a spade here. You abandoned your daughter and you dumped her wherever you could, and you paid some money and hoped people would cover her while you were gone.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's the bottom line. So what we have is a 12, 13, 14-year-old girl who is extremely angry for very justifiable reasons, who is behaving in some really unusual ways. I mean, some very self-destructive ways, right?
Oh, extremely.
She never had any bedtime. She never had any chores. You waited on her hand and foot because you were parenting out of guilt. Mm-hmm. You felt like a servant. You said if she needed a glass of water, I went and got it for her.
Well, why not? She's my only kid.
Yeah, why not? Because that's not what you do with children. You never checked up on her. You never checked who she was talking to on the phone. You never checked who she was engaged with on the internet. You just didn't check, right? You didn't follow through on anything. You give her anything she wanted. You'd sell stuff. You'd do whatever you had to get her what she wanted. Mm-hmm. Why?
Because I wanted her to be happy and I wanted her to know I loved her.
But you were parenting out of guilt. That's why you do everything in the world you can for her, because trying to make up for the things you didn't do.
Exactly.
And I understand that. It's not healthy, but I understand how the pendulum swings and you do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, Isabella is very candid about how she feels about her mother and her parenting style. Let's hear from Isabella on this tape here.
My mom pisses me off. She deserves what she gets. Whatever, dude. Off. My mom thinks I'm out of control. Off.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you heard me. I don't think I need to follow her rules at all. I've always been an angry child.
No, you haven't.
When was I once happy? I've called my mom a bitch, a whore, slut, told her off.
So wrapped up in your own little world, you never listen to me.
My mom was trying to wake me up for school one morning, so I just sat up and just clocked her in the face.
If you're gonna stay home from school, you're gonna do something constructive. You're not gonna just sit here and look around all day. You're really gonna down more.
I constantly fight with my mom and anyone else that disrespects me.
Rude. I'm rude?
Yeah. I've called teachers bitch, piece of told me off. One teacher ripped my headphones out in class and I was like, bitch, don't touch me. And I just walked out of the classroom, didn't even finish my test. One teacher told me I was gonna live in a cardboard box and be on welfare the rest of my life. I told her, well, my cardboard box will be bedazzled and sparkly. This 7th grader pushed my friend and I took her by the back of her head and just smashed her face into the wall. I didn't feel bad at all. I've stolen hair dye, makeup, food, cell phones, jewelry. One time I panhandled. I threw my hair up, rubbed my makeup so it looked like I'd been crying. You know, the sad look on my face like, help. I made like $800 that day. I don't really care if I get in trouble because my mom doesn't punish me at all. She lost her chance to be a parent completely.
Well, we're going to meet Isabella in a little while. Next, after a surprise house call to Isabella, you're going to find out why she says her mom not her, is the one that needs fixing.
Rachel is a free-range parent whose 15-year-old daughter, Isabella, is out of control.
I'm awake, dude. Don't get out of here, dude.
Now you can deal with this.
Morning.
I know what I need.
Maybe a mom that isn't so
Crazy?
Well, today we've been talking about how your parenting style can directly result in how your child functions in the real world as an adult. Now, Rachel admits that spoiling her daughter Isabella and giving her total freedom to make her own choices has backfired and backfired badly. So I enlisted a good friend of mine to help me get to the bottom of what's happening with Isabella. Dr. Charles Sophie is a board-certified adult, child, and adolescent psychiatrist, as well as a family practitioner. Let's take a look at what happened when I asked Dr. Sophie to make a surprise home invasion.
Rachel is a free-range parent whose 15-year-old daughter, Isabella, is out of control. She sent me this clip.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. Excuse me?
Yeah, you heard me.
I'm getting sick and tired of being spoken to like that.
Dude.
Mom has no idea how to control this child. What's going on?
Well, you know, I'm getting ready to go get her up for school. I just can't handle this nasty, evil tongue and mouth, and, well, you'll see.
Is she usually this nasty every morning?
Pretty much.
I'm going to be listening, so when you need me, I'll just jump in.
Okay, thank you.
Well, time to get up for school, baby. I'm awake, dude. Don't get out of here, dude.
It's starting to heat up. There's lots of cursing. I think it's time to go in.
It wasn't. Now you can deal with this.
Good morning. Isabella, Dr. Sophie.
Hi.
I'm from the Dr. Phil show.
You need to start caring about something.
Like
are you?
what?
Like, what matters in this world isn't just what Isabella wants, it's what Isabella needs.
And I know what I need.
Maybe a mom that isn't so
Crazy?
We're going to deal with this stuff. You got to be real about your feelings, honest, because Dr. Phil's got to be able to help you guys figure out a plan and a roadmap of how you're going to bring yourselves back together as a parent and a child.
That's all I want.
Yeah, I mean, I would like for her to be able to understand me. She's like constantly right there in my ear. Back off a little bit and let me explain to you what I've learned since I have lived with my dad.
Well, you learn not to go to school, to cuss like a truck driver. You learn to be angry, fight, steal. I mean, those aren't things that...
Actually, I didn't learn any of that until I came back here.
When did your dad kick you out?
I was like, right for my 15th birthday.
Why wasn't she living with you?
Because I wasn't here.
Where were you?
I was trying to get myself better.
Meaning like you were in rehab, you were in a hospital, or you were on
No,
the
I
streets?
didn't go to rehab. I can't afford rehab. I went to my grandma's house and stayed there for 6 months.
How long have you been sober?
What?
Tell the truth. If
I've
I
never
grabbed a urine right now, would it be positive or negative?
Probably positive. Well, I don't think marijuana is the biggest evil in the world.
Nobody's talking about evil. We're talking about sobriety. Do you use?
Not anymore.
So if I took a urine from you, it would be negative.
Hopefully.
I mean, listen to the two of you. Who's the parent? Who's the child?
It's a good question.
You're a child still. And you need to be going backwards into being a child and let her be a parent. If you don't feel she's capable of caring for you, then we got to help her get stronger to be a strong parent for you. Are you interested in any of that?
I am. I mean, if she really thinks I'm that out of control, which I don't understand why she thinks I'm out of
Look at your walls. This is not okay. These are all displays of intense anger. That's why we're going to the show, because you've got to learn how to go back, be a kid. You don't want to be an adult.
Be a kid.
And then be a kid, because this is what happens.
That's what I keep trying to tell her. You don't want to end up like me.
Okay, we'll see you down there.
Are you really angry? Do you have a chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, I am.
What about?
Multiple things. It just, I'm always in a mood that you can get me pissed off easily. And it always comes back to the fact that I'm always mad at her. Because those 3 years that she wasn't around, I didn't really know what I was supposed to do because I didn't know if she was going to come back for me or not.
Did that make you upset?
It hurt that I didn't know if she was going to come back or not.
Yeah. Did you two ever talk about it?
No.
Never.
Doctor, come on, what's going on here?
I mean, I think the bottom line is she's still a little baby. And she needs to be loved and protected. She's out doing everything that's good for her. She's panhandling, she's feeding herself, she's supporting boys on your dollar. But the bottom line is she's a kid. She shouldn't be doing those things. They're good strengths used in the wrong way.
Have you gotten in trouble with the law?
Yes, I have.
What for?
Stealing and fighting.
Stealing and fighting? How about reckless endangerment for arson?
That, yeah, but I wasn't, like, arrested for it. I just got talked to.
Just got a good talking to for arson?
Yeah, they just gave me a warning and said if I was seen on the property again that I'd be escorted off.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was cited. I had to pay a fine later on, and
okay,
yeah,
you've been hospitalized.
It's on your record.
You've been hospitalized 3 times for overdose.
Yes.
Ecstasy, pills, marijuana, alcohol. Do you think you're making wise decisions? I mean, you've OD'd 3 times. You've been in trouble with the law 3 or 4 times, and you're only 15. What do you think's going to happen in the future?
I'm honestly scared that if I don't... Like, I've realized that I've messed up and I need to change. And I have tried to. And something will happen, and I'll just go off and go crazy for a minute because I get pissed off or get in a fight with her.
Yeah.
And I know that if I don't change completely, I'm probably going to end up in prison when I'm older, honestly.
So what needs to happen here, doctor?
Well, what needs to happen is she needs to decide if she's going to be a parent or not. And then if she doesn't have the skills, we'll give them to her, get her the help she needs to heal herself, feel important so she can raise her daughter and get her daughter under control. And that's the bottom line. And then
when I came back a year ago, I came back to the house, and even though I didn't want to be in the house because of the crap I have to put up with, I came back because I loved her.
Yeah, but you know what,
and I
yesterday...
wanted to be with her, and I wanted to do the right thing by her.
When I walked into that bedroom, the first thing I asked her was, what's the problem? She said the whole thing in one sentence. You are not consistent with her.
She doesn't allow me to be. She's so mean and so hateful.
Child.
She'll leave, and she'll just take off. And
now, but all leading up to all of this, your consistency, your no's don't mean no's, your yeses don't mean yeses. Things move all the time based on your needs.
I got a problem with this whole paradigm. I've said it before. I guess I'll say it again until it stops happening. Parents bring their children to mental health professionals. They drag them up there and say, fix them and call me when you're done. And they talk about the kids like they have nothing to do with how they got where they are. This child was born, didn't ask to be born, but was born. And from the moment she was born, you and others have been writing on the slate of who she is. You have written on her. You have put experiences on her. You have taught her things. You have created who she is. But yet you say, she's just outrageous. Somebody fix her. She's outrageous.
I never talk to my adults or people the way she talks to people.
She's outrageous because you are outrageous.
I get that. But
I don't think you do.
You know what? I provided all sorts of opportunities for her. She had, you know, I thought that even though I wasn't, my head and my heart weren't healed and right, I thought I was trying to at least do the right things as much as I could. I didn't know I was screwing up so bad is all.
Do you now?
Yeah.
Then why are you still defending it? You want to spend your time here defending it?
I just feel horrible.
Well, what you need to be asking is, you know, Dr. Phil, Dr. Sophie, can you help our family? This is a family issue. We could work with her till the cows come home and get her pristinely solving problems, pristinely looking down the road with a great strategy, put you back in the situation. I guarantee you'd screw it up before the sunset.
I agree with you completely.
So we have to deal with you as well. But you need to stop letting the tail wag the dog. He says, be consistent. She won't let me. What? That's the tail wagging the dog. You have to step up and be an adult and be a parent. And part of this is upstream management. You have to be willing to say, look, what I'm doing is not working for me. I keep putting myself in harm's way. You have to be willing to forgive her and yourself, and her and yourself, and let's start anew. And we can do this by bringing you guys in some professional help for your family. You're being really immature and stupid, but so is she. We need to help both of you. But when we do that, you need to show up and you need to listen to what is said, because I want you to graduate from school, have a nice career, do the things you want to do, instead of winding up in a jumpsuit in a jail. Yeah. Let's build on the strengths and work this out. But you've got to own it and say, I don't have parenting skills. I miss those things, and I'm willing to learn to do that. And we're going to stormtroop this thing and help you do it. With help, will you give this an honest second chance?
Yes, I will.
And will you
Of course.
give yourself and your daughter a second chance?
Of course.
Well, we're going to follow this and keep you guys posted on what happens. We'll be right back.
Dear Dr. Phil, I'm writing you about my sister Crystal. She is destroying herself over a man. She is obsessed. They're not even together. She is jobless and almost homeless because she's consumed with winning back his love. I want my sister back.
Today we're talking about what to do when someone you love's behavior becomes dangerous, reckless, and simply out of control. Now, earlier this year, I spoke with Hallie, who says her sister Crystal is so consumed with thoughts of her ex-boyfriend, who, by the way, isn't even interested in getting back together, that she's put her whole life on hold. She's even been accused of neglecting her children.
Dear Dr. Phil, I'm writing you about my sister Crystal. She is destroying herself over a man. She is obsessed. Recently, Crystal has let a man define her. She's addicted to wanting someone to love her, but she doesn't love herself at all. Crystal's current man has left her, so she spends most of her time begging him to come back to her. They're not even together. They broke up. She is jobless and almost homeless because she's consumed with winning back his love. The tragic part of this is that Crystal has 5- and 6-year-old daughters at home, and they are not getting the mother they should. Crystal's obsession with her boyfriend is her main priority. Her girls come second. Crystal knows what she is doing is wrong, but loneliness and her lack of self-respect and confidence are destroying her. I want my sister back. I want her to be a good mother again. I know there is hope for Crystal. Can you please help her, Dr. Phil? Sincerely, Hallie.
Is she right? Is your life on hold?
Yes.
Are you about to lose your house?
Yes.
Have you lost your job? Have you lost everything, sitting around waiting for some guy to come back in your life? Let's be honest.
Yes.
What are you doing? What is she doing?
Waiting for a fairy tale.
You check your phone 24 hours a day.
Yes.
You text all the time.
Yes.
He says he loves you but won't commit. You get up during the night and check, right?
I sleep with my phone, yeah.
So you can check to see if you get a text or something?
Yes.
Are you neglecting your children?
To a certain extent, yes.
To a certain extent?
Yes.
To do what? What are you doing instead of paying attention to your kids?
Thinking about this man. I still take them to school and I do the things that I'm supposed to do. I do their homework and read with them and tuck them in at night. I do the bathing, you know. We'll go swimming or go to the park, but in the back of my mind I am still thinking or wondering. I'll watch Cars to see if I see a certain car and I'm always checking my phone.
Yeah. You've lost your job over this. You can't work because you're obsessed with this. You say she's got $5 to her name?
If that.
If that? Are you dead broke?
Yes.
You getting evicted this week?
Yes.
Over this guy?
Over my choice to come back for a chance with him, yes.
You have children. What are you thinking? What do you say to your children? I'm going back here and hoping this guy will hook up with me again. And I'm sorry, we're going to be on the street, but I'm just hoping I can hook up with this guy.
I thought moving to Florida, I would have a new start, and I still am the same place I was when I came to Florida.
So you're telling me it's a good decision?
No, not at all.
You're losing your house. You and your kids are going to be on the street. You're dead broke, but you're waiting on this guy.
It sounds bad, I guess, when you say it out loud, but somehow in my mind I rationalize, or maybe the good text that I get to say I love you somehow makes me not think about it.
Well, you know, that's like somebody that says, hey, I want to quit my job and write the great American novel. Well, that's fine if you're independently wealthy and you have no children. But if you aren't and you do, sorry, you need a new plan. You are not independently wealthy. You do have children, so you can't go chasing after some guy. And neglect, I'm sorry, is crime.
She doesn't see it that way, though.
Well, is there any other way to see it?
I agree, but she reasons with it.
All right, we're going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to tell Crystal what her ex-boyfriend said to us about this relationship. Yeah, I found him. She may be surprised. We'll be right back. Crystal says she waits by her phone all day and all night for her ex-boyfriend to call her. She says she's neglecting her two youngest children, who are 5 and 6 years old, because of her obsession for this man. Well, we contacted Crystal's ex-boyfriend. He told us that, you know, he just really didn't have time for her or this relationship. Period. End of discussion. Move on. And that was it.
And I guess it's me that is stuck. You
think?
He'd still text her today.
I don't care. Come on, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know.
You want to make an excuse for her?
No, I'm saying he's still texting her. When he says that...
And your point is?
He doesn't want anything, he doesn't have time for her, that's a lie.
Your point is?
It's just that he's dangling over her.
And your point is?
It plays with her emotions.
And your point is?
That's why I want her to get help.
My God, are you kidding me?
Right. I just wish it was that simple. I really do. That's what I want, it to be that simple.
Wow. I don't care if he has a pup tent in her yard. You have children. Get a job, get a house, get a life, do your job, raise your children, feed them, clothe them, nurture them, take care of your children. If you have some guy that you're obsessing about, doesn't like you, wake up, move on, work on you, get some pride in yourself. At least stand up for your children. Do you understand something? You understand that the incidents of abuse and molestation of children with a non-biological male living in the house, unmarried, is 33 times normal? Do you hear what I just said? You are putting your kids at risk. There's just so many things wrong here. You need to just decide that your children are your number one priority, and that means putting your needs aside for a period of time, getting a stable home, where your children are the top priority. They're fed, clothed, bathed, taken care of in a stable home, however modest it may be. They are loved and cared for on a stable basis, day in and day out. And then you start looking for a stable relationship. But they don't move into that house. You don't give them access to your children. And let's face it, you got a history of picking some losers, right? You got a history of picking some losers. So let's not do that. And you need some help and some guidance with this, do you not? You need somebody to help you navigate this terrain. If I get you that help, will you take it? If I get you someone that will say, okay, let's sit down and make a plan here. Let's help you get a life plan for you and these children. Will you take that help?
Yes.
Because you've lost your way here. Do you agree with that? You have lost your way. You've lost your self-esteem. You've lost your self-worth. Your judgment has gone by the wayside. And your children are paying the price for it. So let's get our bearings back here, okay? I'm worried about these children.
I love them very much.
I'm going to get you a female counselor, somebody who's going to help you with some women's issues here, empowering you as a woman to stake out some things that you need to embrace. We'll be right back. We're going to do this.
I've been having an affair for 9 years with a married man. When I got pregnant, he offered me $20,000 to have an abortion. I feel like I'm in a nightmare that I never wake up from.
Today I've been speaking with guests who are turning in their loved ones for reckless and out-of-control behavior. My next guest, Elise, says she's the one who has become reckless because she has been dating a married man for 9 years. But that's not all. She is currently 5 months pregnant with their second child, and she is tired of being a shameful secret.
I've been having an affair for 9 years with a married man. We have a 3-year-old son, and I'm currently 5 months pregnant with his child. He's my best friend. We've had a very close, loving relationship, except for the lies and the betrayal. Well, he keeps us a secret. When I got pregnant with our first child, he offered me $20,000 to have an abortion. When I got pregnant the second time, he didn't want the baby. He said I was destroying lives by having it. I feel completely devastated. I've tried to end it, and I just can't seem to let him go. The fear of losing him makes me panic. It makes me feel like I can't breathe. I feel like I'm in a nightmare that I never wake up from.
Let me be sure I've got this right. This married man has kept you a secret for 9 years. And so you thought it would be smart to have 2 children with him?
Well, logically, no, it's not a very intelligent thing to do, but it didn't seem, when we're talking about it now and hearing it, I didn't think of it like an affair, like it was that big of a deal. I felt like a real relationship. So maybe it isn't the smartest thing to do, but I'm here. This is where we're at. I mean, it's taking it from the step forward.
You've been with him for 9 years. You have 2 children, 1 and 1 on the way.
Right.
So you'll have 2 children with him. And he's still married.
Yes.
And was it this child that he tried to buy you off for 20 grand?
No, my son.
It was your first child. Offered you 20 grand to abort that child.
Yeah.
Why did he offer you money?
I have no idea. Maybe he thought that it was an incentive. I mean, I don't really know, given our situation.
Wow. So you're in this relationship with this guy, and y'all are in love.
Well, I'm in love.
And he says to you, okay, I'll give you 20 grand if you'll off this kid.
Right.
Did that sound like a loving exchange to you at the time?
No.
Did that insult you?
Yeah, I told him I was going to get a restraining order if he contacted me again.
Yeah. But you didn't. And he did. And so you knew that and you got pregnant again.
Correct.
On purpose?
No.
I was just kind of asking that rhetorically. You say no. How did you not get pregnant on purpose? Are you on birth control?
Yes.
And you got pregnant anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What did he say this time?
He left. He went back to her.
Are you still seeing him?
I have been trying not to have contact with him.
But you are. How long ago did you see him?
Last week.
Look, I understand, and it kind of summed it all in one sentence that you said to me. You said, I know what I need to do, but I don't have the strength to do it because I do love him, even though he's treated me as a shameful secret. So you do love him. And what does that mean to you when you say you do love him? What does that mean?
He's my best friend. He's my everything. I just, I admire him. I just can't imagine not having him in my life. I don't know how to say it more than that. He's everything to me.
No, that helps. And how would he answer that question about you?
I don't know. I mean, he tells me, it's not like he hasn't been loving towards me or tells me that he loves me and I'm the most important thing in his life, but realistically, somebody doesn't treat you like that if they love you, and I know that.
So what are you studying?
Clinical psychology.
You're a PhD student.
Yes.
So we could have the Dr. Elise show.
I don't know. I have a lot to work to do, I guess.
Yeah. So what would you tell me if we had our roles reversed? So what would you tell me if we had our roles reversed?
I would tell you to, one, you've isolated yourself and you need to get support because that's a big thing, and that you need to cut off contact with him. I would try to help you understand why you feel that you're not worth more. Mm-hmm. But more than, I don't know what other...
Would I hear you?
No, and that's why I would give you homework assignments to try to work on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's not bad, actually. Not bad advice, right? Not bad. I, on the other hand, am not nearly so civilized, and I think you need to kick his dead ass to the curb, okay? He is playing you like a sucker. And I'll tell you, he may like you, he may even love you in the moment, but he doesn't respect you. He has to drive away thinking, I cannot believe she bought that, but whatever. I mean, come on. And you say he's your best friend? He's not your best friend. Best friends don't make best friends feel bad about who they are. Best friends don't tell best friends that they are ashamed to be associated with them. Best friends don't put people's lives on hold. He has stolen 9 years of your life. And the clock is tick, tick, ticking. And he's going on with his life, and you're sitting over there taking care of his babies. And while you're in there, you're not developing other relationships, you're not growing socially and emotionally, you're not doing any of the things that involve your evolution. Best friends don't allow that to happen in best friends' lives. Best friends would say, because I love you, I will leave you alone. Best friends would say, you deserve better than me, And if I don't have the wherewithal to give you what you deserve, then you should kick me to the curb and go get somebody else. That's what a best friend would do. So let's stop that myth. You're in love with who you wish he was. I'm not saying you need to hate this guy, but you need to recognize that you've become in love with a hologram, a fiction, a very selective part of who you think he is. We teach people how to treat us. And you've taught him to treat you as a dirty little secret.
It's true.
And what you need to do is teach him to see you in his rearview mirror. That's what you need to do. And it will be tough at first. It really will be. It'll be tough at first, but you'll get through it. You will. You will get through it. And you will find somebody that will let you love all of them and will love all of you. And you will look back at it and say, what the hell was I thinking? Will you think about that? All right, we'll be right back. It's never easy watching someone you love become reckless and destructive with their life. It can feel overwhelming, even paralyzing, especially if you don't know what to do. But there are steps you can take to try and offer help. Above all, listen to understand. Don't reject them, even if you disagree. You don't want to criticize and you don't want to attack. Bring in people who can help, counselors, support groups, maybe someone from the church. Give positive feedback to them on real terms. Don't fake it. I want to thank all of my guests today. I really appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time.